Bet you want to know who's on the radio. Let's talk about it. I tell you what, you won't find a tandem better than these two. Let's talk about it. You ready for this? See, you didn't just stumble upon some random show. Nah, this here is destiny. Jeffery, Renee.
It's almost showtime, people.
Let's talk about it. Live with Jeffery and Renee. Watching is the best decision you'll ever make. Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Only on www.statusnetwork.net. Call or text in live 470-251-4647. Hashtag Let's Talk with Jeffery and Renee.
You know what time it is.
And here are your hosts, Jeffery and Renee.
It is time for Let's Talk About It Live with Jeffery and Renee. Right here on Manifest TV, powered by the Status Network. This is exactly how we do it. It's going to be another hot show today, but before we get into all of that, Renee, how was your week?
It was great, thank you. How was yours?
It was pretty good, pretty good. I'm not complaining. Even if it was bad, I still wouldn't complain, but I'm blessed. I'm thankful. I got to take a quick moment out to say happy birthday, Nigel Jashawn Miller. My firstborn, 24 years ago, was brought into this earth.
Happy birthday.
That's what I said this morning. Happy birthday, son. I'm proud of you. Looking forward to talking to you really, really soon. Keep doing big things. All right, don't get ahead of yourself, though. You still owe me some money. All right, but outside of that, it's been a very, very good day. The weather held up good, but there's been a lot of stuff going on in the news this past week, and we're going to talk about all of it today. But we definitely have some traditions on this show, and one of those traditions is spotlighting our historically black colleges and universities by showcasing their marching bands. This week will be no different, and we have the Norfolk State Marching Spartan Band, I believe that's what they are called. We are going to show them in a stand showcase, and then we'll come right back, and we'll get back to the show. Go ahead and roll clip for me. Did they do that or what? Did they do that or what? They got jiggy with it. That is the Norfolk State, I believe it's the Marching Spartan Band. One of them, it ain't Morris Brown. How about that? Now, nothing but love to Norfolk State. Love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, we have a caller on the line with us. Hold on 1 second here. Hey, caller, you're on with Let's Talk About It Live with Jeffery and Renee. Give us your name and your comment. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is LaWanda, and I'm located in Georgia.
Hey, how are you?
I'm grateful. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Very well, very well. Thank you for calling. Let me ask you this question. Did you see what was going on with this this syndrome that they call missing white woman syndrome? Have you heard about that?
No, I have not, and that's what made me tune in, because I was like, I haven't heard of that one.
Okay. Well, we're going to get into some conversation about that. I'll give you the backstory, and then I'll take your feedback on it. In America, we know that people of color go missing at an alarming rate. The highest rates are amongst the original American, or the indigenous people, or the Native American, as some people incorrectly call them. Their disappearance rates are alarming in their community. But the amount of press that they get is virtually none. However, when a woman who happens to be white disappears, it is major news on every network. In Atlanta, by contrast, or similarly, Buckhead can have someone who gets shot, and it makes every local news station. Veterans Memorial now, it used to be Bankhead, could have someone that gets killed, and it barely gets mentioned. Here's the point. It seems as in this country, there is this elevation of who's worthy to be reported on when they are missing. And we're going to talk about that today. Renee, what are your thoughts? And then we'll come right to you, caller.
I think that what you're saying is absolutely correct. I think sometimes it's just we or minorities are not treated with the same respect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's interesting we're talking about this white woman missing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard enough around the Jelani Day.
Not barely anything.
That's right. And the interesting thing about that is he was missing a whole month before we even heard his name.
We're going to come right back to that. Callers, give us your, well, she dropped the line. Thank you for calling. Call back in. We love to talk to you. All right, let's get into this now. Renee brings up a elegant point, and it is a fact. It is a fact that in this country, anybody else missing is low priority. It's not really newsworthy. But someone who happens to be white missing is all over everything. Now, don't get it twisted. Anybody who goes missing, that is certainly something that we all should care about. But don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Everybody should have that same type of treatment. Everybody should be on guard. Everybody should be looking when someone from anyone's community goes missing. If you know who Casey Anthony is, I rest my case. How many years ago was that case? But you still know who she is. So I want to talk about how the term missing white women syndrome came to be.
I need a new wireless
Young lady
plan for my
named,
business, but all
Gwen
my
Isley.
employees need something different.
She came up with the term
We can
about,
help with that.
I want to say a little over 5 years ago, maybe more than 5 years ago. She's passed away now, but an incredibly powerful and influential woman in this country, and she actually came up with the term. She said it in jest, but she wasn't lying. So we're going to play the video giving you a little background on the missing white woman syndrome. All right, go ahead and roll that clip.
Winning singer Kelly Price. The news broke earlier this evening and immediately took Twitter by storm. Fox 5's Eric Perry joins us live from the Fox 5 news desk with the very latest developments. So many people were concerned after hearing this news. Eric, what'd you find out?
Yeah, Christine, some good news tonight. A lawyer for the singer just told me that she is safe. So this was a story that sent the internet into a frenzy. Here's what we can confirm. Cobb County Police and a representative from Price's team confirmed to me earlier that the singer was reported missing. According to TMZ, the missing persons report came after a welfare check at the singer's home last weekend. Price has been public about her struggle with COVID-19 and was recently admitted to a Georgia hospital, and family members report that she was in ICU. Now, according to reports, the singer left the hospital, and that's when family members originally reported that something was not right. So this story just quickly went across the country, and moments ago I spoke with Price's lawyer. She confirmed to me that the singer is safe and is not missing. She also says that she is recovering from COVID at an undisclosed location, but did not give any additional information about how the singer was reported missing. Right now, she told me honestly that she's just really confused about how this story got to where it is. I did reach out to Cobb County Police, waiting to hear back. At the live desk, I'm Eric Perry for Fox 5 News.
All right, now see, that's what we're talking about right there. Even though, fortunately, Kelly Price is not missing and she has been accounted for, the bottom line of it was there was coverage of her missing. Don't get it twisted. There's a young lady who's been missing by the name of Gabby Petito. They found her, unfortunately, and she was deceased, and they ruled it a homicide. She is not a celebrity. Not to demean her life, because her life is important. Her life should be valued and treasured, just like everybody else's. I just want to clarify, it takes a black woman to be celebrity to make the news to be reported missing. But a young lady who I won't even say has a major social media following, who happens to be Caucasian, gets national news coverage. There's a problem with that. Renee, you were saying something about Kelly Price's sister.
Yes, I saw today where she had went on the radio and made a comment that they haven't seen their sister in like over a month.
Oh, wow.
She actually said that Kelly had been announced that she had COVID back in July. So for now, Kelly really gets herself out of the hospital, but the boyfriend has banned them from the house and everything. So the family is more concerned about if she's okay.
Okay, and as they should. Don't get it twisted. You know, family cares about family. Gabby Petito's family, they care about their daughter, their sister. You know, I don't know her family tree. I just know that she's somebody's daughter, a father and a mother's daughter. And the press that she's gotten has been tremendous in comparison to women who have gone missing in this country with no coverage at all. Going back to missing white women syndrome, we have that video. We're going to play that. And again, I believe it's Gwen Eiffel. I think that's her name. She came up with the term. We're going to play the video right now. It's from CNN. And then we'll come back and talk about it. Go ahead and roll clip. Oh. Let's talk about it a little further before we get to that video. It's coming. I promise y'all. I promise y'all it's coming. Let's talk about how everything that some people do gets the spotlight. Now, I'll just ask Renee, why do you think that's the case?
Sometimes it's who you are, right? Sometimes it's based off ethnic group, you know, so white privilege.
I wish I had my bell. I'd ring it.
Sum it up.
I'd ring that. If I had, I'm ringing it in spirit. Absolutely. Don't get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. You know exactly what it is, what a TI is. Oh, the bell done magically appeared. Bam, up on that thing. You know what it is. I mean, people in this country, the cognitive dissonance in this country sometimes is just amazing to me that somebody would fix their mouth to say, there's no such thing as white privilege. All you got to do is look around and open your eyes. Had you heard of Gabby Petito before she went missing? No. You had a better chance of hearing about Kelly Price. And she is an award-winning R&B and gospel singer. Both of them had a time where they were unaccounted for. Fortunately, Kelly Price has been found. Unfortunately, Gabby Petito was, for lack of a better, there was a homicide related to her death. Whether she was strangled, I don't know. I don't know all the facts. I just know they ruled it a homicide, but I had never heard of her before this nationwide, every doggone network coverage.
And you're right, Jeffrey, because when you think about it, and I know we're talking about women, but I got to go back to the Jelani Day story. I mean, this young man hasn't even hit headline news as much as this young lady has, and he's been missing for quite some time. The only thing we've heard of him, like I have heard nothing about him today. Yeah. You know, but I heard yesterday where, okay, they finally identified that it was his body that was found in the bank, but that's it. For Jelani, that's it.
Folks, don't get it twisted. They only started reporting about Jelani Day when missing white women syndrome started trending. His mother was begging, saying, you're not doing enough. She's trying to bring more attention to the case.
Yes.
It shouldn't have taken all of that. It shouldn't take a hashtag to trend for the value of someone's life to be appreciated. This young man was I believe he was a graduate student.
Yes.
He was doing very well for himself. had a great reputation. The last conversation was a routine conversation, calling to check in with family. And he goes missing, and nobody says anything. Let's do it another way. Let's talk about what's happened in this state. We're in the state of Georgia. Remember several years ago, well, just about 2 years ago now, there were whispers about a young black man running who was basically hunted down by white men and killed. Do you know that did not make the news originally? Do you know that there had to be a social media movement for that case to finally get light on it? And once the case came to light, the district attorney was like, nothing, no wrong here, nothing to see here. If you don't see what that is, you are willfully ignorant. And I believe it was Dr. Martin Luther King, who said something like this, and I'm paraphrasing. Turning a blind eye to evil is you basically co-signing that evil. Being quiet in the face of evil is you basically co-signing. I can't think of the term that he used, but I'm paraphrasing the quote right there. Now, y'all take Dr. King's word and everything else, take it at that too. Also in this country, do you know what happened with the Haitian migrants? Did you see the man on horseback whipping or attempting to whip Haitian migrants? Did you see that?
So sad.
Listen, I want everybody to understand that the Haitian migrants were not breaking the law. They were seeking asylum. They were fleeing a terrible situation. Now, I got two videos on this one. One is by Mark Lamont Hill. We'll start with Mark Lamont Hill, because the way that he breaks down exactly what's going on and how the Haitian migrants were treated is just the absolute truth. There is no excuse for the way we treat people who are seeking asylum in this country. Just by comparison, there are at least 30,000 undocumented Canadians in this country. At least 30,000. Most of them are Caucasian. And you've never seen a picture of them being whipped. Never. But when we have Haitian migrants coming through, they are assaulted, they are whipped, and they are turned away. So the first one, and this video is coming from the real D.L. Hughley, it's the very first video. That's going to be Mark Lamont Hill, and he's going to talk to what we saw when we saw those Haitian migrants being assaulted. So let's go ahead and roll that clip. We'll come back and talk about it.
Listen, y'all. I understand why you're mad that black folk are not getting Emmys. We made up 44% black and brown people of the nominations and didn't get any of the major awards. But look, it's 2021. We have to stop expecting something different. We have to stop expecting our open enemies to feed us, to clothe us, to shelter us. We have to stop expecting people who have colonized us to educate us. And we have to stop expecting people who have made a history of exploiting our culture, of mocking our bodies, our hips, our lips, our noses, and then going and get surgery to look like us, to make fun of our music and call it devil music, and then make billions and trillions of dollars off of whether it was jazz, blues, rock, or hip-hop. They don't love you. So stop looking to their award shows for affirmation. Stop looking for their awards to verify who we are. Accept your own and be yourself. That means leave them alone. Are the enemies wrong? Yeah. Are the enemies racist? Absolutely. But you can't continue to be disappointed, because disappointment reflects an expectation. And at this point, after 400 plus years, You got to stop expecting stuff from them.
Yes. Now, I'm going to talk about the response we got from the president and the vice president. Did you see what they had to say?
I did.
What do you think about that?
I think that Biden is it's hard for him to actually relate. Let's just put it that way. It's really hard to relate. I would have expected Kamala to actually, but again, I think it's kind of hard for her to relate too. I mean, to be honest, I think it's hard for either one of them to relate. So hearing what they said wouldn't touch America if it was Obama speaking, because he can relate. You know what I mean? You can't speak on something from the heart if you can't relate to it.
Understood. Well said. Well said. I was really, really not disappointed in Joe Biden because, quite frankly, I was never a fan of Joe Biden. Not the architect of the crime bill, not the man who said it was a good bill at the time. You didn't have the foresight to see the repercussions of the bill. And then, I'm just saying, I've just not seen that type of vigor, the way that you defended the bill, that vigor in saying, okay, we were wrong about the bill. You kind of stand your ground on it. So I'm not really disappointed in Joe Biden. He ain't my uncle. I'm just going to call him Joe Biden, President Joe Biden. I am a little disappointed in Vice President Kamala Harris because she is on record saying that the way that we treat migrants is atrocious, and becomes the vice president and says, do not come.
Yes, sir.
Do not come. Now is not the right time. Do not come. They are carrying over the Trump policies. Let's keep it a buck here. When all of those Haitian migrants were under that bridge, they were being blocked from seeking asylum. They took those people and put them on a plane, flew them back to Haiti, threw their clothes, their garments, and all their belongings on the ground. One person who was on the plane said they had us chained to the seats. And before they opened the door, they unchained us because they did not want you to see it. Keep in mind, they were not breaking the law. They were following international protocol when seeking asylum. Haiti, unfortunately, is going through a lot. All types of natural disasters, destabilization in leadership. It's just the worst case scenario. And you know why they do treat Haiti like that. It's because the French are still mad at the Haitian Revolution. Don't get it twisted. They will never, ever let up on Haiti because they feel like Haiti stole from them. Let's keep it in perspective. These people who decided, the Haitian people who decided we are no longer going to be your slaves, the French people feel like they stole from them. Don't get it twisted. And France is one of America's biggest allies. There's no reason those people should have been turned around. Not one. There's no reason they should have been whipped. Not one. You know why they were. Don't act like you don't. So there's a young lady from The View. Her name is Sunny. I can't remember Sunny's last name, but Sunny had some comments on what happened with the Haitian situation. And quite frankly, she says it very well. So, Sonny, I'm sorry, Sonny. Call me. Tell me your last name. I done forgot it. But your husband is Haitian, so I understand why you are so passionate about that. We're going to roll that clip, and we'll come back and talk about it. Go right ahead, roll clip.
Be that way because we know that the United States can do it. There is a way to do it. There's just no will to do it because the United States and the White House has promised to bring 95,000 Afghans here. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be brought here because they should be. Right? That's the promise of this country. But if you can bring 95,000 Afghans here, then why are you sending 86 Haitians back on an airplane to a country that has been devastated? So it's not about whether or not there's a way. It's not about that there's a pandemic. But this policy started with the Trump administration. It's called Title 42, and the Trump administration decided to ban migrants from refugees from coming. So when people say, well, get in line, there is no line because of the Trump administration. And there has never been a line for Haitians. And I take this personally because my husband is Haitian. And I have been to Haiti many, many times. And it is a beautiful, beautiful country.
Man, listen. All right, Sonny Houston or Houston, however you pronounce it, I apologize. However, she made some excellent points.
She did.
It's not like it was thousands upon thousands of Haitians seeking asylum, but they had the wrong complexion. Now, don't get it twisted. I believe when President Obama was in office, he did a lot of things. One thing he did wrong, two things he did wrong. He spoke disparagingly about HBCUs, at HBCUs, during commencement. He did it more than once, which was some absolute BS. Three things he did wrong. The second thing was he drank the water in Flint, Michigan, like the water crisis up there was solved. That was some bull. He did it on national TV. Everybody up there felt betrayed. He said, I want some water. They brought him bottled water. He said, I want some tap water. What in the hell? Okay, my bad. The third thing, he also turned around a lot of Haitian immigrants, people seeking asylum. So let's just call it a buck. For some reason, they keep turning Haitian immigrants around. And if you act like you don't know why, you ain't fooling nobody but yourself. Whoo! All right, I'm gonna need a drink after the show, I can tell right now. All right, anyway. So Renee, let me ask you about this. Let's go back to Kelly Price. We were talking about how Kelly Price's family was looking out because they have not seen or heard from her because of the boyfriend. Now, I don't know Kelly Price's relationship, not casting aspersions on it. I'm just gonna ask, what would it take for you to question if a relative's boyfriend or girlfriend were acting out of pocket? Would it take them disappearing, or would you be more proactive about it?
I think in the instance of theirs, that would be acting out of character.
Yeah.
You know, you're just a boyfriend. This isn't your wife. That's the first thing. Mm-hmm. And barring family from the house, you know, the law allows him to do that because he's considered a resident.
Yep.
You know, so he has more control than the family. Mm-hmm. However, legally he doesn't. Now to the house he does, but not as far as her affairs because they're not married. He's
not entitled to anything with her affairs.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, they're in Cobb County. So, you know, I think that with the family, I would think that's a little suspicious. Now, if she just got COVID and your reason is a matter of communication, if your reason is, hey, you know, she's just coming home from COVID, we trying to keep her safe and keep you guys safe, that's one thing. But no communication with the family, yeah, I think we would all be a little suspicious as well. So, yeah, immediately.
Yeah, look at here. I don't know anything about celebrity relationships. I can tell you if one of my sisters was sick with COVID and I tried to check up on her and her boyfriend acted like he was going to bar me from finding out what's going on. I just need y'all to know I got 5 brothers, and all 6 of us will be going to check to see what's going on up in that camp. Now, I'm not saying they did the wrong thing. You know, every family handles things differently. But I also got 4 sisters, and if one of my sisters was there, the other 3 sisters would be going. So all 9 of us would be rolling up in that camp deep. There are 5 living generations in my family. So it's going to be some nephews and some great nephews and some great great nephews too, and nieces. Don't get it twisted. We're going to roll deep up in that piece. But we're going to find out what's going on. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm really glad that Kelly Price has been found and she's resting and recovering from COVID. I just know, yeah, ain't no boyfriend going to keep nobody away. All right. Glad she's safe. Glad she's safe.
But the family is actually questioning if she's safe.
I don't blame them.
Right.
I don't blame
you
them.
haven't talked to her. She went in the hospital in July. Okay, it's almost October.
It's practically October.
Right.
Next week is October. And next week starts tomorrow.
Yeah, and you haven't talked to your sister. And on the radio, the sister was saying, you guys know Kelly. She is outgoing, has an outgoing spirit and personality. She is not that one to be just stuck in the house and not communicating. So, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I would be knocking on the door. I need the sheriff. We need to get in here. We need to see, lay eyes on her.
That welfare check was important. They did, ask law enforcement to go out and check.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if she was there. She wasn't there when they went to check. The boyfriend was there.
The boyfriend was there.
Okay, yeah. See, all of that right there. I'm the welfare checker.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm rolling through to check the welfare. Absolutely. It just is what it is, Again, glad that she is safe. Glad that things have worked themselves out. Fortunately, hopefully they will continue to work themselves out, and everybody involved is doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, so you know that I'm a father, you're a mother. You know, it's something about daddy rolling up, though. Don't get it twisted now. Mamas, y'all all right. But it's something about daddy. When daddy roll up, all is right with the world. I mean, mama, y'all got Mother's Day. We let y'all have that. But when daddy roll up, or when you're looking for daddy, and it ain't daddy, you're just a little disappointed. Now you looking, I can tell, I can see look on your face. I can see look on your face.
What's the hand?
Hey,
Last week I had the hand.
You're killing me. But I'm going to show you this video that really illustrates the point that I'm trying to make. There's nothing like the love of a father. I don't get it twisted, mothers, y'all significant. But when daddy rolled through, it's amazing. So we're going to roll this video right here. When you expecting daddy, go ahead and roll that clip.
Where it all started.
Booty, booty, booty. Mommy, it's mommy. We do this every morning. It's me, not Dada. I know you'd rather see her. Oh, Lordy. Okay, well.
The little baby said, oh, Lordy. Yeah. Dropped her head in disappointment. Don't act like you didn't see it.
I did see it.
Mama's voice, and you heard her voice, oh, I'm just disappointed. And we go through this every morning. You're looking for your daddy, but it's just me. And the baby's whole energy, you saw it.
She just looked like, oh.
You know what? She was like, I didn't sign up for this. I was looking for my daddy. Thank you very much. I had this other video, I didn't include it, where the little girl was pushing the mama away like, you cannot kiss on this is my daddy. I thought it was just as beautiful as it wanted to be. But your mama and your daddy, while you got here, little girl, don't forget. All right, now, we all know, of course, that when it comes to fashion, the Kardashian family, they've been some trendsetters. They've taken a lot of stuff from other people and put it on, and all of a sudden it became a trend, like boxer braids. One of them Kardashians braided her hair back, and they went nuts. Oh, did you see Kim? Did you see Kim's? Right. Like sisters ain't been doing that forever.
Yeah, exactly.
So somebody finally said something about the Kardashians and their appropriation of fashion from people of color. We're going to play this clip and we'll come back and talk about it. This is a commentary on Kim Kardashian's Met Gala outfit. Go ahead and roll clip.
That's why I can't mess with her, that Kim, cause she gonna ask me, oh, what you wearing? And I told her what I was wearing, and then I described to her and everything. She said, oh wow, that's hot, right? And then you know what she did? Stole what I was gonna put damn on. She showed up, look, and I didn't know she had did this, right? So this is her, right? She look all right, but look, okay, I'm not talking to Kardashian no more. See, I knew something. That's why I can't mess with her, that Kim. Cause she gonna ask me, oh, what you wearing? And I told her what I was wearing, and then I described to her and everything. She said, oh, wow, that's hot, right? And then, you know what she did? Stole what I was gonna put damn on. She showed up, look, and I didn't know she had did this, right? So this is her, right? She look all right. But look, this me. That's why I ain't talking to her no more, because she stole my whole idea and outfit. Ladies, never let your girlfriends know what you're wearing, because they're going to try to outdo you. I'm not talking to you no more, Kim Kardashians. Okay.
Absolutely hilarious.
See, I'm not talking to Kardashian no more.
Absolutely hilarious.
See, I knew something.
Absolutely hilarious. So, ladies, don't tell your friends what you're wearing, because they're going to steal it and they're going to copy it. They might look better in it than you do. Bless her heart. But yeah, Kim, we sick of that. We sick of that. Don't make me call Kanye Yeezus. What's his name now? What's his new name now?
But you know he wore that outfit first.
He did. He did. He had the stocking mask on while he was having the Donda release parties. Exactly. He really did. And he kept it on when he walked around. But still, he stole that from the Hood Boys.
And look, he didn't get as much recognition as Kim got.
He sure didn't. He sure did. But still, you know, hey, look, it's still appropriated. I'm getting sick of y'all and y'all appropriations up in this piece. All right, here we go. I want to talk about something different now. Before we go to our next video, have you been back to Columbus in a while?
Have I been to Columbus? Not in a, no. I have, but not like, maybe, it's been a couple months.
Months.
Maybe a month.
A little bit longer for me. Well, next week is my mother's birthday, so I'll be down in Columbus. I was trying to figure out what there is to do in Columbus.
Exactly.
I was going to go to the skate center. The skate center done closed. Can't go to the skate center.
And your mom not going to want to go to the skate center?
I said I was going to go.
Oh, you're going to go?
Yeah, I was going to go to the square.
The square, that don't exist
The square gone. I mean, everything that I remember in Columbus, that was good is gone. It used to be a magic market right at St. Mary's Road. St. Mary's Road in North Star.
Yeah.
It's something else. It's not a magic market anymore. It's changed so much. I don't really want to go there. But I'm going to go because it's my mama, you know, it's her birthday. Here's one thing about Columbus, Georgia. I'm going to tell y'all this. I want you to understand. When we look back on the things that have happened in our lives coming from Columbus, there's some really, really good memories. One thing that I just want to give to my brothers and sisters in Columbus, as much as you can, don't let mama them property go.
Right.
Don't let it go. Find the money from somewhere, keep those taxes up, and keep the property up. Invest in the property, turn it into a revenue stream. Last time I was there, I just drove around the old neighborhood. And houses that I remember people living in are overgrown now. For whatever reason, the family that was there, you know, the mother and father that I knew growing up, when it passed down to the children, the property just went. And these were people that took care of their yards. I used to cut some of their grasses. And I can tell you when a line wasn't right, I'm getting fussed at. Hey, these lines, you got these lines crooked. I like my lines crisp, Mr. Breland. Okay, Mr. Breland, my bad day. I'll run back over it. On that same house that Mr. Breland and his wife, Mrs. Breland, took a lot of pride in, it's overgrown now. Don't let mama them property go. Keep it up. I mean, it's wealth if you manage it the right way. It's legacy if you manage it the right way. All right, Columbus, I'm just asking that y'all do that. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? That's what I'm saying. Now to this video right here. This is so funny to me. Okay, if you did not know, in Columbus, there is a street called Victory Drive. This young lady is familiar with Victory Drive. That's actually where she met her husband. She's applying to a scholarship, and she's trying to get money for this scholarship, and she's talking about her husband. So we're going to play this video, and we'll come back and we'll talk about her application for the scholarship. Go ahead and roll that clip.
I'm here to collect the funds that you are giving away. My name is Belair Blair, rich bitch, to be precise. And this here's my Frederick, my manservant. But before he came to serve me, he was a two-pit hussy, male prostitute, working the south side streets of Columbus, Georgia.
And say what?
Yes, on Victory Drive, he was strolling.
What are you even
And he
doing?
had a mean little slut stroll. Frederick, shut up. I am trying to get us some free money.
Bro, did you just call me a...
I caught him clapping those clappers for about a week straight, and I said to him,
I know you
Nick,
lying.
Frederick, if you ruin my chances of getting this money, I shall.
You already ruined it. 'Cause you lying like
As I
a
was
motherfucker.
saying, he was out there doing anything for a dollar. Holla. I had to come save him from his own demise. I said, no, nay, a male prostitute, a gigolo.
Man, did you just
That
call
is
me a
no
prostitute, man? Turn this shit
That is no longer your calling on this earth.
lying like hell.
Your calling is to serve me.
Victory
Greetings.
Drive.
I'm here to collect
Man.
the funds that you are giving away.
I tell you what, the way she told that story, with class and dignity and grace, I love it. What do you think?
Yeah, it was funny, but he wasn't happy about it.
And the funny thing is, she actually did meet him on Victory Drive in Columbus. She used to be on post Fort Benning. And, you know, a lot of people, when they left Fort Benning or they wanted to go out and, you know, party a little bit, they would go to Victory Drive. And I hadn't been, you know, in Columbus that long. I don't know what's on Victory Drive other than the Coliseum there. I don't even know if that's called Victory Drive when it gets down there. But if it is, that's all I know. All right, so let's talk about some other stuff now. Let's talk a little bit about Donald Trump. Okay, first of all, Donald Trump's attorneys, one of them being Rudolph Giuliani, and the other one, I can't think of the young lady's name. They are taking a lot of heat. Have you heard about the heat they're taking? They have basically been been called out. Listen, you went to court and you lied to the court. You misrepresented facts. And now we coming down on you. So as of right now, Giuliani can't even practice law at all. He's barred from practicing law. Now this man is a former U.S. attorney. A former U.S. attorney. They used to call him America's mayor when after 9/11 happened. He was well respected on both sides of the political aisle. He was considered to be a person up for a cabinet position in the Trump administration. Look at him now. What do you think about this fall, Renee, of Rudy and his partner? I can't think of her name, though.
I can't think of her name either, but Rudy, I used to have the most respect for him after 9/11. But as soon as Trump came in office, all of that went out the window. He showed his true colors. I kind of figured that was in him a little bit. Just, you know how I guess you judge the book by the cover. But when he started showing his true colors as soon as Trump was elected, I mean, the things he did went against everything that I believed in. I mean, he was Trump. You know, and so this issue with him and the lady, I think that they should be barred. I also feel like it's a lot more to that, though. You missed the part around they were asking for the votes to be recounted, okay, and they are involved supposedly with the riot that happened in January, right?
January 6th.
Exactly. So with that happening, it's a lot of more people that's being indicted and subpoenaed, and if they don't get subpoenaed, they're taking it up, or they don't, you know, meet the requirements of the subpoena or testify, they're actually talking about taking it up a step further. So I really believe that, okay, you guys did this. You got together and contemplated making this happen. That's why most of those people were released.
I agree. Now, here's the other thing about Rudy Giuliani. Back in the day, after 9/11, you know, settled, And after he left office from being the mayor of New York, I recall him being on the news talking about how black people don't take accountability for what happens in their own communities. Don't worry about over-policing. You take care of what happens in your own communities. I'll never forget seeing him say that. And I knew right at that point, I said, oh, the only reason that you got as popular as you did is because everybody was tired of crime in New York.
Exactly.
Not just white people, black people were tired of the crime too. Look, we want safe neighborhoods. We don't like seeing people on the corner selling drugs. What we do expect, though, is the same way that you come after us, you do that with the other communities, because their crime statistics are virtually the same. Every community has proximity crime. According to the FBI statistics, there's one category, might be two, one category that black people lead, and that's homicides. That's the only category when you break everything down, violent crime, when it comes to things like sexual assault. We don't lead that category. Robbery, we don't lead that category. What was another one? Tax evasion, we don't lead that. When you go down all those crime statistics, they align with the population of the country. And the leading category by race is Caucasian in most every category. Statistically, it should be that way because there are more Caucasian people. It should fall in line. But don't get it twisted. Rudy defended the actions of some overzealous police officers and deflected to the way black people respond to crime in their own neighborhood, which is another misdirection and another untrue statement. Now, he went to there's a lawsuit against him, Dominion Voting Machines. They have a $1 billion lawsuit against him for defamation because he was claiming that they rigged the election. So they sued him. He said to the judge, throw the case out. The judge said, nah, I ain't throwing it out. It can go forward. So not only can he not practice law, he got scrutiny for what he did in the Borat movie. Did you know what he did in that? They set him up where this young, attractive woman made it seem like she was going to perform a sexual act on him. Dude laid back and started ruffling his shirt.
What?
Watch Borat 2. It's live. It's real. Oh, and so he was like, I was just adjusting my shirt. If you watch that, he thought he was about to get some busy work in.
Wow.
He now can't practice law, and he's a spokesperson for My Pillow. So the My Pillow guy who's losing, Rudy Giuliani who's losing, they're working together now. All because they can't accept the fact that Donald Trump lost. And he definitely did lose. You know he was in Georgia today?
For what?
Herschel Walker and some other Republican candidates. He's stumping for them. So I think he was in Middle Georgia. Was it today or yesterday? Anyway, he came to Georgia, Donald Trump, starting trouble. And on the low, he might be charged in Georgia for election tampering. Because it's public record that you called the Secretary of State and asked him to change vote. You asked Brad Raffensperger to give you about 15,000 more votes. Do what you gotta do. You called him. It's public record. You don't have private phone calls with state officials, not the President of the United States. You called him. It was recorded. It's public record. Now, I'm fascinated to see how that's going to work out.
So am I.
I think that if it were me, I'd be in jail already.
Oh, of course. Me too.
Already.
We would have been the next day after it went public.
I don't know why they're treating this man with kid gloves. I don't know why they didn't impeach him, especially the first time or the second time. I don't know why they're making all these excuses for this guy. I would have felt better about Republicans if they had said, you know what? You're going too far. You are ruining the country, and in principle, we're not supporting this. but they're so scared.
What though? That's the question. What does Trump have on all of you that you are afraid of him?
I'm gonna say Jeffrey Epstein.
I was about to say that's the only thing
it has to be it. It has to be it.
And it's every last one of the men. He has something on all of them because they are afraid of this man.
That has to be it. I was reading something about the connection to Russian supporters to different politicians, and the Clintons were also in that ring of people who got supported. Lindsey Graham also in that ring of people who got supported. I'm like, what does Trump have on them? And the only thing I could think of was Jeffrey Epstein.
That's right.
And Trump has the ultimate I got you card on him, because the way Lindsey Graham went to bat for him, the only person I think he ain't got none on is Mitch McConnell. Because after a certain point,
Mitch didn't care.
Mitch was like, you know what?
That's
You can go to hell, Trump.
That's all right.
I do not support you. You jeopardize my wife, I don't support you. I don't support nothing you do. Now, I'm not going to impeach you, but Joe Biden's the president. He got on the Senate floor.
Sure did.
By President-elect Joe Biden, looking, you know what, I ain't going to make fun of the way that man look. He can't help it. That's just the way he looks. But the bottom line of it is, I don't know what Trump got on these people, but whatever it is, they scared of him. They scared to stand up to him.
They are.
Even some Democrats act like, well, maybe we shouldn't. No, you should have Joe Manchin. Slow walking stuff. So let's talk about this big old package, and then we'll wrap up on politics. I love talking politics. The really big $3.5 trillion human infrastructure package is being blocked by two people, Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. What do you think about them trying to hold this up, saying we should wait? What do you think about that?
I don't know.
Man, listen.
Obviously, you don't agree.
Man, look, I pay attention to these folks only because it pisses me off. Because when Republicans have the votes, they do whatever the hell they want to do.
They do.
They run over tradition. They run over everything. But Kyrsten Sinema, we got to pay for it. Joe Manchin, we should take our time. But you got the votes. If you have the votes,
move along.
That's it. Yeah. Republicans do that and you complain.
Yeah.
They don't reach across the aisle, you complain. As a Democrat, you insist we got to reach across the aisle. If that's ass backwards.
Right.
How you gonna let somebody slap you, and then when you have the opportunity to defend yourself, you don't defend yourself? Well, I know you slapped me and you make excuses. You slap me, but I'm gonna not slap you. No, slap me if you want to. Actually swing, because you ain't gonna connect. You're gonna catch me not looking. That's the only way you're gonna connect. Because if your hand coming this way, we about to fight. That the old school fight when, everybody head down and you just roll it. It ain't gonna be no slap. You're not gonna get up. No, I'm coming right at you. I'm gonna employ all those wrestling moves that I know too to hem your ass up and then go wailing on you. It is what it is. I'm sorry. I'm not advocating violence, just self-defense. 470-251-4647. That's the number. Let's get to what we normally do in hour number 2. Let's talk a little bit about relationship. Thanks a lot. Let's talk about the strength of the mother. Now, I talked about how fathers.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I forgot about the strength of mothers. This is, I believe, in, I'm going to say either Puerto Rico or Mexico. I'm not sure. But this is a mother and her child sitting down while they're building some type of brick wall. Watch what happens when the mother notices what's going on. This is a mother in her strength. Go ahead and roll that clip for me. I want you to play it again when it finishes.
Ahora again.
Definitely bricks. Now, all I'm gonna say is, Notice, though, she did not fall, she did not buckle until the wall was finished falling. She held her ground, stood right over the child. I believe the child might have suffered some minor injuries, but that child didn't get buried. That mother stood up like a trooper, like a G. So moms, don't think I was disparaging now, you know. That was pretty awesome. What do you think about that?
That was Wonder Woman right there.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about this right here before we get into too deep into family court. Because you know, I love family court. But before we get to that, let's talk about the state of relationships. I was on Clubhouse the other day, and there's some women who call themselves, dang it, I forgot the term, but they are advocates for leaving black men, not exclusively dating black men.
Wow.
And what they were saying was, our marriage rates are super low. They are like 30-something%, barely, I think just over 35% in our communities, married couples. They were also saying things like, it's because black men don't take responsibility and they are Pookie's shipyard shaquan or shipyard charades and Ray Rays. That's what they were calling black men. Pookie, shipyard Raquan or Raekwon, and Ray Rays. And they let me speak. I said, hey, I gotta let y'all know, y'all, I'm triggered when y'all say Ray Ray as a negative connotation because I have a nephew that we call Ray Ray. And he is one of only a handful of black male aviator instructors in the entire U.S. Army. I think there may be 5 at most, and he's one of the 5. Very successful, married to a black woman, raising 3 black daughters. So when you say Ray Ray, I need you to understand that I don't take offense to that because my nephew is doing very well for himself. His wife is doing well. They have a beautiful home right outside of Noonan. Okay, let's talk about the shipyard. I was just talking to you about Nigel in the shipyard. Men who work the shipyard make a lot of money.
But are they literally talking about? Because that don't sound like what they mean.
They were casting aspersions when they said shipyard charade or whatever the name was. They were making it seem like that guy's trash. I'm like,
if he work in a shipyard.
Yeah, and men who work in the shipyard are not broke.
But do you think that's what they literally meant? Or were they just saying something to go with the charade?
I think they were being ignorant on purpose.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure of that.
And I think they were speaking from a place of pain because when they let me speak, I came on, I said this. Now look, y'all, all right, marriage statistics in our communities are low, yes. But of the people who are married, black men marry at a clip of 85% black women. Mm-hmm. You focusing on that 12% of men who marry interracially. And it makes no sense that you would just focus on that and not on the men who are marriage-minded and married women that look like you. Help me understand that. Well, they kind of call themselves separatists. I can't think of it's a term they have, but they're saying we're abandoning black men. No, we ain't about black men no more. They were like, as a collective, black men are judged together. Black women is different. So I want to ask, why do you think we have different standards for how black men conduct themselves versus how black women conduct themselves when it comes to relationships?
It really shouldn't be a standard. I think that you should, what you're asking for, you should be able to also duplicate. Meaning if you want a man that's respectable, intelligent, works, have ethics, then that is something you too should possess. But as in anything, we have a group, and I don't know anything about this group of women, but I would just say it's almost just like being a racist. Like, how can you label a group by a few. I mean, you can't do that. Obviously, they've had some bad experiences, and I'm sure they haven't looked in the mirror. And if they're watching the show, this would just be some advice. We first need to look at self and love self before we can just go out and say all black men are bad, because that's not true. And I'm a mother of boys, so that would mean as a mother, we raised them wrong. And, you know, because it starts at home. If you got black boys and you're going to label all black men, you got to look at what you're putting out there, too, raising your sons. So I can't agree with that in no form or fashion.
And so as we spoke, and very well said, matter of fact, as we spoke a little more, they started talking about their credentials.
I hate when women do that.
One of them said that, I have a master's degree, and I do this for myself, and I did all this stuff, and when they allowed me to speak again, as gracious as a matter, I could say, because that was their room, I said, hey, I can appreciate everything that you've accomplished for yourself, and you should do those types of things because you are grown. That makes you an adult. It does not make you a good partner. A man who has everything that you have, if you don't know how to get along with that man, but you compete with that man, then he's not going to stay with you. If that man feels that, okay, I've got my own thing going, and she's got her own thing going, but we can't build something together because she doesn't want to give up any part of her dream, he's not going to stay with you because he doesn't have to. He can find someone just as educated who can partner with him, and they can build something new together. Who's more willing to compromise on their dream when they see somebody compromising on theirs to create something new? Nobody's telling you to give up everything you got. Some of these women were like, I don't want to move.
But just,
we can live in separate houses. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just like, You know, it's funny because I hear people at work always talk about their credentials, right? What are you doing with those credentials? Because just because you have a master's or doctor's or whatever doesn't make you a good partner. Because you can be without any of that and have a high school diploma and a better partner than a doctor. I mean, I hate to hear people talk about, shoot, I got 3 master's degrees. Okay, but you are alone.
I saw a video of a young lady when someone said, this is her video, somebody always talking about, will your degrees keep you warm and all this other stuff. She took a blanket and had her degree printed on the blanket, and she was sleeping under her blanket. Like, yeah, my degree keeps me warm. That ain't what we talking about. Right. You know exactly what we talking about. You can sleep under anything and stay warm. That we talking about body heat and not your own.
And clearly, if you got them degrees, you obviously didn't get it. So what is lacking?
Hilarious, hilarious. One thing that they said also that I found really, really funny. Again, as respectful as I could possibly say it, I said, ladies, y'all have to understand that when a man gets to a certain level, he doesn't allow anybody to define him. What I'm hearing in this conversation is that you ladies want to define what women should do, and you also want to define what men do. And we don't follow like that. You define who you are, but men of substance, we don't care what you try to say we're supposed to do and what we're supposed to be. That rolls right off of our backs because you have no influence over us. So when you define you and you try to define us, you will find men won't deal with you. We won't, because that comes across like you're trying to mother us. Put an S in front of it because it's basically trying to smother us. We don't have any time for that. And so for that particular group of women, I had a great conversation with them. It was respectful. But you know, I brought that heat to them.
I would have to.
I mean, I had a couple of them agreeing with me, and the main moderator was like, nah, we're not going to do that here. Like, I can't be right. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to ruffle her feathers. This is her group. I just wanted her to know that that foolishness you were talking,
right,
it got chewed up. And you saw the tide start to turn, and you're like, nah, let me control my room because I want my women to agree with me so I'm not left alone on my lonely island. I ain't mad at you. I might invite you on the show because it would be a good conversation. I'm going to ask her to see if she'll come on the show. We'll see. Stay tuned. All right, so Renee, let me ask you this question. Have you ever seen divorce court?
All the time.
All the time.
Wait. Which judge?
Judge Lynn Toller or the new lady. What's the new lady? Lynn.
I want Lynn. So I watched Lynn. I watched Anna. What's the lady name? Jolene or
the brown skin lady? Yeah. I can't think of her name either.
I can't either.
Judge Lynn Toller, the brown skin lady, and then there's another younger lady.
Yeah, she's newer.
I think she lost her show, unfortunately.
She did.
Yeah, I think they took all the court shows away when Judge Judy said, "Look, I'm sick of y'all. I'm doing my own thing." I think they kind of started winding down the shows.
In the morning though, I see her in the mornings.
I'd be at work.
Yes, I'd be
working.
Working.
Yeah, so I don't get to see it. So there's this couple that had to go to family court over child support. Now this is a bit of a role reversal. The father isn't the primary breadwinner.
Okay.
He's an educator. The mother is the primary breadwinner. Now, they're divorced and everything like that, but she has more income, and the father is receiving child support. Because based on what I saw, he's the custodial parent.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So the judge did what the judge does. You know, she went down and looked at the things, and we looked at the law and rendered a verdict. I want y'all to watch this. Now, this clip is about almost 3 minutes long. Stick with it. It's worth it. We're going to play this clip. This is family court. Go ahead and roll that clip for me.
This is what we're going to do. Your gross is going to be, of that $150,000, it's going to be $12,500. She's actually capped. So in Texas, her...
She said it was capped.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to go ahead. Silver caps.
No, he got the white ones. I paid for them silver caps to be removed, and now he got the white ones.
Okay.
Tell your honor that.
Well, moving right along, her net resources, they come out to $9,200 because she's capped. Based on her income, that brings her child support obligation to $2,300 per month. Reimbursing you for the health insurance that you carry for the children every month is $255, bringing your monthly child support to $2,550.
Okay. Excuse me. Wait a minute. I don't get paid monthly. It's according to how my houses are flipped. So if I go a month without flipping a house, why did you do this?
No. Wait a minute. Excuse me. I went off what you said. You said, Your Honor, I make about $150,000. Did you say that?
I did say that.
Right. You did say that. So that's what I based it on.
Shut up.
Therefore, that's what your child support amount is going to be, $2,550. So I hope you can flip enough houses to make that flip some more for these children. Is there anything further, ma'am?
Yes, can I just ask a question? As far as the tutoring, what if I take my children to tutoring?
What? You mean like take them in a car?
Yeah, like if I take them to tutoring, can that reduce that?
Yeah, I don't want her around me.
No, I didn't say you. I said my children. You said that you're concerned.
Did you ask me a question or did you ask him the question?
Okay.
Oh, okay. To answer your question, no.
Yes.
It does not. It has no impact on that whatsoever. Transporting your children to tutoring is called parenting.
All right.
Is there anything further?
Can I go?
Oh, sure. As soon as I dismiss you. Is there anything further, sir?
I just want to say, God has blessed me in ways that I couldn't imagine.
So now you're going to bring God in this.
I just appreciate you for understanding my frustration and my pain.
Well, I didn't make a ruling based on your frustration and your pain. I made a ruling based on what the law said I can do with what's in the best interest of these children. And if there's nothing further, you both are dismissed.
Me and my little teacher money about
use
to
a little teacher.
Walk out with this $2,000 though.
Did y'all see that? What did you think about that episode of Family Court?
You know, often it's in the reverse, right?
It is.
It's in the reverse. So it is good to see that it's fair across the board. And you went in there acting like a baller. Oh, I make $150,000. Okay. And belittling his little teaching job. So he was like, ooh, let me walk on up out of here with my little teaching job. This $2,000.
Now that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Now, first of all, I'm glad that they are both involved, that they are both contributing.
It didn't seem like she was really involved because...
No, she's involved because she does do things. When she said, if I take them to tutoring and stuff like that, she does do things. You can tell that she doesn't do as much as you would expect.
But she wasn't doing that. And his comment was, I don't want them around you. That's what he said. So, like, they're not around her.
See, this is the part that I'm driving towards, because that's the part that I think is not healthy. Yeah. You ain't got to be petty like that. I mean, y'all weren't petty when y'all were bumping and grinding, making them kids. Now, don't get it twisted. Sometimes my ex-wife and I, we don't get along. When it comes to making sure those kids were taken care of, though, it got done. It wasn't all perfect. It still got done. Neither one of us ever had to pay any child support because we just took care of business. I carried them on my insurance. I'm still carrying them on my insurance. They went to school in my school district. It is what it is. So I just believe that level of immaturity or hurt feelings or whatever it is, you can just kind of put that to the side. I think he had to take her to court, though, to your point, because she wasn't doing as much as she could be doing. So I don't disagree with that part. What do you think especially about her?
It just seemed like she was more about the money, you know, and I couldn't get a feel for him. He was just in court about, you know, just raising the child support. But I agree with you that the co-parenting, and you know, in most relationships, even if they're not married and they just have kids, the initial part is anger and hurt. And until that couple actually get over that and realize, like, hey, we got a co-parent. You know, I don't have to like you. You don't have to like me. We don't have to be together, but we want to be the best version of us for our children. I think that's when people can see that, because my son, my kid's father and I were married for so long, and I will say that what I notice is that kids that have that from both parents turn out to be better children.
Agreed.
You know, because they see that they're not having to choose between mommy and daddy, you know, and they see their parents acting as adults and, you know, and love both of them and coming together. I think that that's a win-win for the child.
Agreed. Earlier this week, a report came out, and the report said that for the first time in several years, the number of two-parent households is on the rise. Now, when I saw that, I'm like, you know what? It's about time. I just think that we've gotten to the point where we're sick and tired of the same old stuff, and we're doing things differently. Not because of a government program, not to say those aren't needed, not because of what the celebrity said, but as a community, we're turning towards each other. We're figuring out ways to work together more and more. We see the statistics of black women being the most educated and things like that. Hey, love it. We don't see as many statistics relating to men. When we see statistics about the family, though, that's a positive sign right there, because you fix the family, you fix virtually every issue in our community.
It's true.
Virtually every one. I love it. Couldn't wait to talk about that today. I had a video for that, but I forgot it. We'll play it next week. How about that? All right, Renee, now look. I think it's time for you to catch some of this smoke. I done took it easy on you most of the show. It's time for some smoke. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, the weather was really, really nice outside. The crabgrass is still growing in my grass. It's aggravating as all get out. I wish the weather would make up its mind. It's going to be hot or cold. Which one is it going to be? But in spite of all of that, my granddaughter, she still loves me. My son, my daughter, they both love me. My whole family, all 9 of my brothers and sisters, and my mama, they all love me. But you know what time it is. It's time for you to close your mouth and listen. You ask me some questions, I give you some answers from a man's point of view. Now, I got one reason for the habitually single woman and one reason for the habitually single man as to why you might be single, but before we get into that, here is my disclaimer. Now, what I'm going to talk about might not apply to you. If it doesn't apply to you, I don't want you to put your foot up in this shoe. But if it does apply to you, I want you to put both feet in both shoes and walk around in them because you're about to learn something tonight. Ladies, you go first. All right, ladies. Some of y'all are so single. Some of y'all are single simply because it ain't your fault. I'm going to break it down for you. Okay, now your last 8 boyfriends broke up with you because they said, you know, you're a little overbearing, but it ain't your fault, it's their fault. I mean, like, the people on your job say your attitude is a little strong, but it ain't your fault. You say that you need a real man to be able to deal with you, and no man wants to deal with you, but it ain't your fault. Ladies, what I need y'all to understand is nobody wants a damn headache. It's hard enough as it is without you adding to the pressure of just living in America. But you swear up and down that even though 8 men told you the same thing, that it ain't you. And you're right, it ain't. It ain't you walking down the aisle. Because your ass is single. Oh, I've been saving it all show. Been saving it all show. Renee, what do you think about that?
I agree. And you know what? I call them girls Susan. You know, there's a Karen. Those are no, seriously, because they really do exist. You nailed it. You got the same woman. I got some friends like that. You know, you can't get promotions at work, but it ain't you. Mm-mm. You get a good dude and he don't stay. You trying to compete with friends and they blocking you. Check yourself.
Check yourself.
Check yourself.
It's your fault. All right, fellas, don't think I'm letting you off the hook. Fellas, you are next. She ain't said nothing to the ladies, but now I talk about the fellas. Here we go.
I agree.
Okay, here we go. All right, fellas, some of you are single simply because you won't go and get your damn manhood. Don't get it twisted. America is America. There are a whole bunch of things that's wrong with this system and things they put in place to keep us back. That don't mean that you still can't be successful. It doesn't mean just because you can't get a job that you can't go create a job for yourself. It don't mean that, okay, just because police treat us differently that you need to put yourself in position to be arrested. It doesn't mean that just because everything didn't go your way, that with a little determination, a little effort, that you won't be able to turn that around and make a brand new way. But you sitting there stuck on, oh, it's that man's fault. It's that man's fault. Not casting that as doubt or as a falsehood, because it is some bull that we have to deal with in this country. The bottom line of it is every man who wants to live his dream is doing it. But your ass sitting around playing around. That's exactly why you still single. Renee, what do you think?
I think those are those men we call I'm about to. You know how
I'm about to.
That everything, I'm about to. Why aren't you working? I'm about to find a job. Ain't no jobs out here, and they make excuses, and that is why they're single. Don't no woman want no man that can't lead, and then you sitting here making excuses for everything. Your dream shattered. Find another dream. Think of something else. I can't get a job. There's a million jobs out here now, but you can't. You the only one can't find one. Or it's his fault. Like you said, it's the white man's fault. Okay. Tomorrow's going to be the black man's fault. So what are you going to do about it?
Y'all understand something now. Don't get it twisted. We know that is some foolishness in this country that are built into the infrastructure to basically help some people and lock some people out. That is absolutely true. We know that there's history of people being given things by the government free of charge while other people were locked out. Absolutely true. Don't get it twisted. We know right now there's disparate treatment when it comes to health care in this country. We have health care deserts in our community. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying those aren't real. They absolutely are. The people who want to be successful and who want to live their dreams, they do it. They make a way. They don't go find a way. They make a way. You can do that too. Okay, so here's something that I really, really enjoy talking about because it's, how can I say this the right way? It just is what it is. Some white people nasty as hell.
They what?
Nasty. Some white people, some of y'all just that's damn nasty. Look, don't get it twisted now. When Dionne Ward was talking about white people going out on TV and interviews saying that I don't bathe every day, she's like, hey, I love y'all. God says love everybody, just don't stand too close to me because y'all don't bathe every day. She wasn't making it up. It's like sometimes they don't think. They don't think things through. I found this video of this woman who wanted to surprise, I believe this is her husband. I'm not going to tell you how she surprised him. I'm just going to say, some of y'all white folk nasty. Some of y'all white folk nasty. I said it just like that on purpose. Go ahead and roll that clip for me. Here we go.
This is why you got to watch who you have kids with, because this lady crazy as hell. She gave her man a popsicle, and look at her face. She up to some sneaky bullshit. I already could tell. And he know, like, this popsicle tastes a little funky for some reason. And then he started looking at the popsicle. You know, what's going on with the popsicle? It tasted like vegetables and whatnot. Come to find out, this is how she decided to tell him she was pregnant. He got to feel like, oh, so you pissed on this and put it in my mouth? I would have left. I don't want nothing to do with y'all two. Matter of fact, let me go get some milk. All right, I'm going to go get some milk. I'll be back. That's why you got to watch who you have.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't either. That is nasty.
I would have been really, I would have been happy about the baby, the pregnancy. But you took a pregnancy test that requires that you urinate on it, froze it, made a popsicle, and you let me eat it. Okay, what do you think, Renee? My head hurt now.
She nasty.
That's what I said.
Nasty. It is other ways. Could you not just put it in a box,
Thank you.
Well, that's, you know what? Speaking of that, it is people that are into things like that. To each his own. Let's just put it that way.
I feel like that lady in that video. I'm stuttering now. I can't. But look, all I know is that was too much.
Yeah.
It was too much.
For us.
Okay. Well, he didn't look happy either.
I don't know. He looked like he was trying to figure it out. Hey.
Man, look at the look on his face. He was perplexed. Roll that video one more time if you can roll it. All right, we're going to pull it back up. We'll look at it. Watch his face, though. The look he has on his face is not one of joy. It's one of what in the hell is going on with this damn popsicle the whole time.
He's just looking at it like, what is this? What flavor is this?
Now look, disgusting. What in the hell is going on with this popsicle?
Like, what is this?
She's like, it's just pee. Look, like this is a bullshit right here.
I'm about to throw up.
He still got it in his mouth.
Yeah, like, oh.
I got to go. I need to go get some milk, too. I got to go. Man, look at him.
Yeah.
Some of y'all just nasty. Some of y'all just nasty. All right, now. Okay, I got a couple of more things I want to talk to you about, Renee. But before I do that, I just want to talk about the state of our historically black colleges and universities. I need y'all to understand something. People are starting to recognize that we have been disenfranchised as institutions forever. Instead of supporting with money the state schools that were HBCUs, they would give them the scraps, just like they did with the slaves. They would give slaves the scraps from the master's meals. So what I want you to understand, it's still incumbent upon us as a community to make sure that we're pouring into our HBCUs. When I spotlight the HBCUs, it's just a way to say, hey, I want you to know what black excellence looks like when it comes through or matriculates through our HBCUs. Here is how we've been disenfranchised. Schools like South Carolina State. In the same state as Clemson and the University of South Carolina, their budget is smaller than athletic programs. I need you to understand how crazy that is. Now, Clemson's athletic program produces a whole lot of revenue. I understand that. An HBCU athletic program can also generate revenue when it is properly funded. Just look at what Deion Sanders is doing at Jackson State. Now, he ain't doing nothing new. He's saying that we need new facilities. All of the coaches at HBCUs have been saying the same things. We need new facilities. We need to be able to compete with these larger PWIs. If we have better facilities, we can attract better talent. Better talent wins more games. You win more games, you get more fans. You get more fans, you get more revenue. The reality is, for most HBCUs, the largest revenue generator of all the organizations is the marching band. There are some schools that don't even have a football team, but they have a marching band because they know it recruits students who tend to stick and stay longer. That's better for tuition. And also, it brings revenue to the schools. The football team normally just goes to play other football teams. The band can go to band competitions. They can march in a presidential parade. They can do all these things to bring recognition to the school. I'll close with this. When an HBCU closes, they don't make new ones. The number is set. When that bill was authorized saying that, hey, these are the historically black colleges that we're recognizing, that was it. There are even some HBCUs, there's one in Virginia, I cannot think of the name of it, that has been taken over. It still has historically black college and university designation, but most of the students there are white students. I'm not saying they need to close. I'm just saying that we have to protect what's ours. If we don't, who will? All right. Renee, what you got coming up this weekend? What else you going to do this weekend? Anything?
Can I speak about your HBCUs?
Absolutely. My bad, homie.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say, it's interesting that we're talking about the HBCUs because ever since COVID, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of parents are encouraging their children to go, black parents, to go to HBCUs. And I think it's a lot because if you visit an HBCU now, like we were in school, the HBCUs were 99.99% us.
Absolutely.
It's no longer like that.
It's not.
It's no longer like that. So I think as we've gotten older and parents coming from HBCUs and just now wanted to say, hey, we need our HBCUs. There's nothing any different that the PWIs can offer you that the HBCU can. Some of the best doctors come out of Howard and law.
Absolutely.
And we have Xavier and, medical school. So let's encourage our kids to go back to their, their heritage. Let's go to the HBCUs. So, I mean, I was at my son's football game. Well, he don't play football, but they had a football game and they were doing recognizing seniors. Every senior coming on the field was a HBCU. And that's great to see, like, so many parents were like, you need to go to a we are encouraging it, because you're going to get the same opportunity. And I think a lot of the parents also realize with the PWIs, our kids may not be able to play the sports. If you got a small kid, you can't play football with a PWI. These white boys are big kids now. Yep. And so we have to stay in our arena, but we're getting the same thing. And people look down on that, but I think not anymore. It's getting the attention that it finally deserves to get now.
I agree. Finally. I agree. Now, here's what's also happening. Going right off the point that Renee just made, some of the top athletes are choosing HBCUs now.
Exactly.
Now, don't get it twisted. They're still going to PWIs. There was a basketball recruit a couple of years ago. Everybody was like, hey, come to Duke. Come to UNC. Come to, what's another one? Kentucky. He said, I'm going to Howard. They were like, you'll be back soon.
Both of Shaq kids just signed over to Texas A&M or Texas Southern.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? When we start to make sure our HBCUs are funded well, we can compete with anybody.
That's right.
And we do it in a way that's much more endearing because you get lessons at an HBCU that you don't get everywhere else. I'll never forget one of my professors, his name was Mr. Quaynor, Professor Quaynor. I'm sorry, Professor Quaynor. I decided I was ready to go and just get out of class. I didn't feel like doing math that day. So it's college. They don't make you stay. It's college. It ain't high school no more. If you want to leave, just leave. I got up. Professor Quaynor spun around and said, hey, he had a really deep voice. Hey, Mr. Miller, where you going? I said, I was getting ready to leave. He said, no, class is not over. Sit back down. What do you think I did? Sat right back on down. Put my book back down, put my note back out, and finished the rest of the class. After class, he pulled me to the side. He said, hey, this is important stuff. You don't get out and just walk out of class. He was insulted. He was insulted. But he also cared enough to make sure that I didn't shortchange myself. Never forget that. Do that at a PWI. We'll holler. We get your money anyway. You're going to do what you're going to do anyway. There's not the investment back in the positive outcome for the student. I agree. So we got to protect our HBCUs. Pick one if you didn't graduate from one and adopt them and donate to them. Just is what it is. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, Renee, I think it's time to give you some more smoke.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with women these days. I'm really trying to understand why y'all got to be so difficult. This is what I mean. We could ask a woman any question we need to ask. And instead of just giving us a direct answer, y'all will ask us a question. Why can't y'all just answer?
Sometimes we don't know.
Y'all don't ever know.
That's not true. It depends on the question because sometimes we may know and don't want to hurt your feelings, so we just say, I don't know.
So you gonna lie to us?
Not necessarily lie. Spare your feelings.
A lie of omission.
Spare your feelings.
Okay, so all right. I just want when you say you got to spare our feelings, give me an illustrative example, please, because y'all think we can't handle it. We gonna talk about spare your feelings, but give me an example, please.
Let me think of one.
Okay.
Come back to me.
Okay, well I'm gonna tell you how we spare y'all feelings.
Oh.
Cause we actually are the ones that be sparing feelings. Baby, you like my cooking? Baby, it's the best cooking ever. He lying like hell. Y'all be burning grits. How you burn grits?
That goes vice versa. You think you didn't cook a good meal? I'm going to surprise you for your day. It's your birthday. I'm going to cook you a meal.
We don't cook for y'all. We don't cook for y'all on your birthday.
Yes, what?
What?
See, now I'm stuttering. You do have men out here that think that. I mean, look at Tony that was on our show. He's a chef. He loves to cook. So
Tony can cook.
okay, so don't say men don't cook.
Okay,
they
that's
don't
true.
Like to cook for you per se. So now let's just say a man that wants to cook just for his girl. He think he can cook. So
No, Tony can cook.
No, I'm not talking about Tony. I'm saying in general. He says, baby, I'm going to do this for you tonight. I'm going to cook you a nice meal. Granted, that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And how you like it? You know he done slaved in the kitchen most of that time. You don't like the food. You know what I'm saying? It's good. It's
you know what?
That's sparing his feelings.
Okay. Here are other ways that we spare your feelings.
Okay.
What do you want me to wear? This is what y'all ask us. And we say, I want you to wear this. Y'all will say, but I was thinking about this one. What the hell you asking me for? Y'all do that all the time. Y'all don't really want our opinion. You really just want us to guess what it is that you want to wear. So here's how we have to play it. Baby, what do you want me to wear? I don't know. What were you thinking about wearing? Well, I was thinking about this and I was thinking about that, because we have to spare your feelings. If we say what we really want you to wear, you ain't going to agree with it anyway. Am I lying?
That is absolutely true. However, that is not sparing our feelings.
Why?
That's just saying we're indecisive.
But why?
And sparing my feelings would be, baby, which dress look best? Now, you know darn well if I wear that tight dress, you got cellulite, you can't wear that. So that's sparing the feelings. So let's...
I was coming to that next.
But you didn't say that then.
So we're talking about, so you agree with me that we spare y'all feelings when y'all ask us what you want to wear?
I think that you know that we're indecisive about what we want to wear. So you don't tell us, so you say something, you know we're going to say, no, I ain't going to wear that. That's one thing.
Uh-huh.
But sparing my feelings would be, babe, which one of these look best on me? And you know neither one of them look good, so you may say, I like that one, and you know you don't. That's sparing my feelings.
We do that.
Okay.
So
I'm not saying you don't do that. I'm just saying your example wasn't matching sparing my feelings.
Okay. So here we go, ladies, because this is aggravating as hell. I don't know why y'all do this to us. Y'all know that some of y'all might need to push away from the table a little bit on occasion. But you don't do it. You don't do it. And then you got to do something around your girlfriends. You know, couples night. You want to lose 15 pounds in 24 hours. And it's just not going to happen. So you will pull out that outfit that you used to really just rock it in and start jumping up and down to get into it. And then ask us how we look. How do I look, baby? You look like you're suffocating. But we can't say that. We got to help y'all.
Get them.
So when I say that we spare y'all feelings, we not lying. We do spare y'all feelings. Is that not true?
That's true.
Why y'all like that?
Just women. Just women.
So.
But do we spare your feelings?
You only illuminated one way.
No. I'm just saying, do we spare your feelings?
I'm gonna say no.
No.
I'm gonna say Bernie Mac said it best.
What did he say?
He said, fellas, when you're giving the woman the D, she gonna tell you everything that's wrong with you. You might have one eye on your head and one knee. And she was like, oh, Bernie Mac, you one eye, broke knee, you wearing that thing out. Yeah, so y'all gonna tell us what it is. Am I lying?
Yes.
Y'all don't pull no punches with us.
It depends on the woman, right? Because you have different kind of women. You have straightforward women that, you know, they just say whatever, right?
Okay.
And it ain't just to the man, it's to whoever. They have no tact.
Okay.
I used to be that woman. I had no tact.
No, I just think you were blunt. Because I'm gonna say this about you now. You know, this is the most we've interacted with each other. We've always known of each other. I just think you're more matter of fact, bottom line when it gets to certain things.
Now I am.
You what?
But
well, this is new. This new.
I had no tact.
Okay, all
if
right.
I thought it, so I could just say, like, when I was dating, I can remember times my now husband lived in Gwinnett County, and I live in Atlanta, right? Off of Camp Creek. And I had a routine, like, every day, right after Judge Mathis, I'm taking a nap. I don't want to be bothered. And I would say, I don't want to be bothered. He would drive all the way from Gwinnett in the, rush hour. Hey, I'm coming to see you. Oh, no. I don't want to be bothered right now. You don't want to be bothered? No, I don't want to be bothered. And that's what I meant. Women, when we're in it, you have to learn to, respect others' feelings and time and all of that. So I'm saying it depends on the woman because we have to mature and grow too.
Okay.
I was very, what?
I mean, that is a fair point. Counterpoint. See, having your routine and that man, your husband, the man you were dating at the time, pursuing you, they didn't run together. He basically had to keep pushing against that because he just wasn't going to give in. He was in pursuit mode. So I applaud him for helping you to shift. Now, he had to have a certain amount of quality for you to actually make that shift.
Exactly.
Every man can't do that.
That's right.
Every woman would not be willing to do that. So I see that as alignment. It's like, okay, you had your comfort zone. He helped you expand it. Or he gave you reason to want to expand it is the right way to say it.
I agree.
And then when you expanded it, you guys got married. And that's how it should be. That ain't what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's just growth. Everybody, that's a good thing. Everybody should aspire for that.
So you think that women don't spare men?
For the most part, no. Because y'all don't consider our feelings at all. It's all about y'all. Where's the lie? You don't see the lie, do you? Because it's the truth. We're not talking about you, though. Because, ladies and gentlemen, she's married. We're not talking about her. The rest of y'all, though, we definitely talking about y'all. Definitely. Okay. Sorry about that. My bad, folks. We're coming up to the end of the show. It's been a good show. I like it when we just have conversations, organic conversations around topics. But next week, we're going to have some guests back in studio with us. Ain't no telling what we're going to talk about, but it's going to be hot. I want y'all to understand that. Now, I just want to make one point again. Where we started the show was talking about how some lives are elevated over others. When we say Black Lives Matter, that is not at the exclusion of anybody else's life. What we are saying is that we should not have to be a celebrity for our disappearance to matter. Gabby Petito, if I'm mispronouncing her name, I apologize. But her missing is a tragedy. They're still talking about that case on every network, every day. At the 12 o'clock news, the 6 p.m. news, and the 8 a.m. news. She's making every story nationwide, or every broadcast, that is, nationwide, on virtually every network. And all I'm saying is if that same type of attention was paid to everybody who goes missing, perhaps this country would be able to see the human in others. Right now, seems like they go out of their way to only humanize one class of people. Listen, we do this every Saturday from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. right here on Manifest TV. I need you to follow us on social media. For Instagram, it's manifesttv.status. Facebook is Status Network LLC. Periscope, status_network_. Twitter, status_network_. We're on the Amazon Fire Stick and Roku as Status Network and Manifest TV. On YouTube, we are Manifest TV. Renee, if people wanted to follow you, how would they find you?
I am on at Instagram at Pretty Eyes, and that is PRET, 3 eyes and a Z.
All right. You can't miss it because she's smiling and you see the eyes in her profile picture. I am Talk with Jeffery, Jeffery, on all social media platforms, everywhere except for Snapchat. I am not snapping. I'm not chatting. I'm definitely too old for that. This has been a whole lot of fun. Now, first of all, Jack Trey came out of retirement to produce the show, and he held it down. Yannette Keith is hosting a surprise party. I hope I didn't ruin the surprise, but surprise if I did. It's been a great show, but just like that, we are out.
And there you have it. Thanks for joining us on Let's Talk About It Live with Jeffery and Renee. Watching is the best decision you'll ever make. And make sure you join us next Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. only on www.statusnetwork.net. Jeffery, Renee.